let's talk about AI. But forget the billion-dollar labs and all the sci-fi stuff. We're talking about powerful, free tools that you can use today to get a serious edge at work and in your life. Our goal here is pretty simple: to take you from "I'm not so sure about this" to an absolute super user. So let's get into it. So let's just get right to the elephant in the room, the big question on everyone's mind. When you hear the letters AI, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it massive tech companies, giant server farms, and budgets that seem totally out of reach? Because if it is, you're not alone. That's a super common feeling. And that feeling leads directly to this kind of skepticism, right? It just sounds complicated. It sounds expensive. So you have to wonder, are the free versions of these tools just watered-down toys? Or are they genuinely worth your time? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. So it really feels like we're at a crossroads. You can look at the rise of AI and feel completely overwhelmed by this complex, unstoppable wave, or you can see it for what it truly is. And that's a massive opportunity, one that's way more accessible than you probably think. Because here's the idea that changes everything. What if some of the most powerful assistants, researchers, and creative partners you could ever ask for were already available to you right now, completely for free? I know it sounds like science fiction, but it's not. It is the reality of the tech world we're living in today. Okay, enough with the big ideas. Theory is great, but a toolkit you can actually use is way better. So let's crack it open and see what you can start using today. These are the main categories of free AI tools that can give you some serious support no matter what you do for a living. And wow, the variety here is just stunning. Think about your average workday. Need to draft a really tricky email or summarize a super long report? A text assistant like ChatGPT can do that in seconds. Are you drowning in a sea of open browser tabs for research? A tool like Perplexity can give you sourced answers fast. Need a quick graphic for a presentation like right now? Canva AI has your back. And if you are just sick of repetitive, boring tasks, an automation tool like Zapier can connect your apps and do that work for you. There's absolutely something here for everyone. Of course, we gotta be real for a second. There is a difference between the free and the paid versions. Free tools typically give you access to slightly older, but still incredibly capable models. You might see some usage limits or maybe slower speeds when everybody's trying to use it. The paid versions, on the other hand, get you priority access to the latest and greatest models, plus some more advanced features. But for most of your daily tasks, the free versions are more than powerful enough to be a total game changer. So having the tools is step one, but knowing how to use them effectively, that's where the real magic happens. And here's the secret, and it's a big one. You don't need to be a coder. You just need to be a really good communicator. It all starts with something called the prompt. So what the heck is a prompt? It's simple. It's just the instruction you give the AI. The clearer and more detailed your instruction is, the better the result is going to be. It's not magic, it's a conversation. You're the manager and the AI is your very capable, very literal assistant. And check this out. This is a perfect example of a great way to start. You don't just say, write a job post. Instead, you give it a role. You are an HR assistant. And then you give it a specific task. Help me write a job posting for a data analyst. That little bit of extra context immediately focuses the AI's response, and you get something way more targeted and useful out of it. Now, if you want to level up, let me give you a pro tip. It's called chain of thought prompting. And it sounds fancy, but it's really easy. Instead of giving one huge command, you just break it down into a conversation. First, you ask the AI what it needs from you. Then you give it that context. Then you can even ask it to outline its steps before it gives you the final answer. This forces the AI to think more logically, and you can guide it and verify its work along the way. It's a game changer for getting really reliable results. Okay, let's pause for a very, very important point: privacy. The number one rule with these free public AI tools, and I mean number one, is to never, ever input sensitive personal or company data. If you have to work with confidential info, you need to anonymize it. Swap out real names for things like Client A or project code names for project_X. This is absolutely non-negotiable for protecting yourself and your company. So we've covered the what and the how, but what about the why? I mean, what is the actual measurable impact of bringing these tools into your day-to-day work? Well, the numbers are pretty staggering. So get this. One report found a jaw-dropping 66% increase in the amount of work people could get done on their daily tasks just by using AI. Let that sink in. 66%. To put that in perspective, that's like getting a 5-day work week finished by Wednesday afternoon. This is not a small boost. It's a fundamental change in what's possible in a day. And this huge productivity gain isn't just for one type of job. Marketers are using it to brainstorm ad headlines. HR is summarizing CVs and coming up with interview questions. Finance can get instant summaries of dense market reports. Customer service can automate FAQs. No matter what department you're in, the pattern's the same. Let the AI handle the repetitive, time-sucking stuff so you have more time to do the smart, strategic work. And all of this leads to what might be the single most important thing to understand. The fear isn't that some robot is coming for your job. The reality is that AI is a tool. It's a very, very powerful tool. And the person who learns how to use that tool will become dramatically more efficient and more valuable than the person who doesn't. It's not about replacement. It is all about empowerment. So we end with this. The tools are here. They're free. And they're just waiting for you. The only barrier left is just getting started. So look at your own to-do list. Find that one task that just drains your time and energy, and ask yourself this question: what are you going to supercharge first? The answer could change your entire workday. Thanks for joining us.